Over a decade of hunting in some of the world's most remote and untamed locations. Federal Premium Ammunition, powering your pursuit. King's Camo, the next era is here. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters. Bushnell, purpose built. Their message of conservation and management has been shared with millions. So let's enjoy the experience before, during, and after pulling the trigger. This is Federal's Trigger Effect. Over the past 10 years, you have seen Dean and Kent provide many great wild turkey hunts from all over North America and Mexico. Success for Federal's Trigger Effect come in two forms: harvesting the turkey and getting great footage of the harvest. However, these things don't always pan out for one reason or another. In this episode, you'll see some archived hunts that, for one reason or another, failed to achieve both successes. So let's head to Oklahoma, where Dean is pursuing Rio Grande turkeys with good friend Tyler Gotula. So here's the scenario. The boys arrived in the afternoon and scouted some birds with Tyler. They followed them for the better half of the day and then put them to bed in the roost. They returned early the next morning and set up on the birds. Dean and Tyler sat together, and the cameraman was about 25 yards to the right. First mistake. So let's go join Dean in the early morning as they start to bring the birds into the decoys.
Here they come. Here they come, Dean.
Yeah.
Get your can up. He's 1 second to the left. Right. And he's going to attack the decoy. Watch. Wait.
They're coming back to it.
Wait. Now shoot. When you can. Shoot him whenever you can.
Okay. That was awesome, man. Did you see the way it kicked the heck out of that?
Oh my, he demolished the decoy. They were all over the place. It was
Oh
unbelievable.
my. Look at that.
Look at that. Oh,
God.
look at that. Look at that rope. Oh, good gosh almighty. Oh, man.
First Rio. Thanks for letting me guide for you, man.
I never expected that. What a beautiful
Unbelievable.
bird.
Look at that beard. Look how thick it is.
Incredible.
Look at that. Unbelievable.
That is awesome. Unbelievable, bud.
Tyler, you run an amazing outfit.
Thank you, sir.
We've seen so many birds this morning, and
They're still gobbling.
I know they're gobbling there. We got a group here.
There's 2 strutters out here, longbeards. There's 4 longbeards over here gobbling. How many longbeards did we see yesterday? 25?
I don't know. I mean, this morning we came in, you hit that owl call, and it just seemed like the entire state of Oklahoma lit up with gobbles. They were everywhere.
They were in this creek draw, and we put them to bed last night, and it worked. You know, I mean, them birds knew exactly
where they wanted to be, and we watched them come across this wheat field in the roost, got in here early and set up, and it worked out.
I'm trying to think of something to say, but I just can't think of anything. I mean, I'm just so excited about this. Thanks again.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's an awesome bird.
It was a lot of fun.
Man, that was awesome. What a great day. How many birds did we hear and see? It was epic. You got a hell of a bird, too. Good bird.
Good job, Dino. That's a hell of a bird.
I can tell you one thing. Tyler's saying it's 18 pounds, but by the time we get the truck, this thing's going to feel about 35.
Yeah. Boy, we saw a lot of birds today.
Oh,
that was unbelievable.
Yeah, we're going to go grab something to eat, and then we're coming back, put the herd on another thunder chicken this afternoon. So stay tuned for more Trigger Effect.
Wings and Flight Outdoors and Trigger Effect teamed up, and here we go.
Here you go.
So although Dean harvested a beautiful Rio Grande tom, unfortunately the capture of the harvest was not adequate. Therefore, this episode hit the cutting room floor. However, this was a valuable lesson for the Federal's Trigger Effect team. Make sure the cameraman is beside the hunter, so you can quietly communicate to make sure the shot for both the hunter and the camera are sufficient. Now, let's head to the Kootenays in British Columbia, where Dean joins Richard Tipper from the BC chapter of the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation. Make sure you come back after this commercial break for more hunting action with Federal's Trigger Effect. Federal Premium Ammunition, powering your pursuit. Whatever you hunt, however you shoot, Federal has you covered, with the best ammunition options in every category.
Well, here we are, another beautiful morning. We have a little bit of overcast and drizzle. Right now we've set up in between two turkeys. You can hear them in behind gobbling. We have one roosted behind us about 100 yards and one in front of us about 75 yards. So what we're going to do is just sit down here quiet. We're going to wait for the sun to come up, the birds to pitch, and then we're hopefully going to connect on one of these gobblers. I'm thinking there are jakes in the area, but you never know. I mean, there could be a longbeard. So we'll settle in and cross our fingers, and Dick's up to bat. So we'll see what we can get. Maybe turkey dinner.
So this is what the boys call a double tap. The main camera person was recording the approach of the Miriam Jake. As the Jake approached the kill zone, the camera person forgot that the camera was already recording. They pressed the record button once again, and are now unaware that the camera has been mistakenly turned off. All angles were rolling, except for the pinnacle kill shot. Again, this hunt hit the cutting room floor.
Well, that was awesome. That bird committed just exactly like how we wanted him to, and unfortunately, I'm not really sure whether we got it on camera or not. He decided he wasn't really super fond of the decoys this morning, and he was skirting us. Yeah, no, it worked out perfectly, and let's go take a look. Came in this morning, the road's just down kind of in behind us here. We thought that we may have bumped this bird. We got in so close to him right off the roost. Did some soft calling to him, and he responded really hot right off the roost, and sure enough, he pitched right down onto the ridge line and walked right into our setup. And yeah, no, he's a beautiful bird. I was just saying that I find that no matter how many times that I come up to a bird, for all the years I've been doing this, that these birds never cease to amaze me in their beauty and the iridescence of their feathers, and just how pretty they are. And it just makes it such a joy to come out every spring and harvest one of these birds. Yeah, it never gets old.
Huge congrats to Dick for harvesting a beautiful Columbia Trench Miriam Jake. If you live in Canada and are an avid wild turkey hunter, make sure to join the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation. Your membership will help contribute to wild turkey education, conservation, and management. Stay tuned for more Federal's Trigger Effect. King's Camo. The next era is here. The XK7 pattern exclusively available for the XKG series.
In southern British Columbia, we're hunting Miriam turkeys. However, they're not indigenous to this area. In the 1980s, the government stocked turkeys here, and ever since then, they've really flourished. So it's a real pleasure for British Columbians to be able to hunt these species, and we should look at them as a valued resource similar to the rest of the other provinces and states in North America. And to me, that sounds like a great topic for Conservation Connection by Lethbridge College.
Upland game birds and wild turkeys are similar in many ways, but they're generally managed using two different approaches. Stepping back a bit, considering the taxonomy of these birds, they're part of a group of birds called the galliforms. These are chicken-like birds that tend to have very heavy bodies, so large breast muscles. They feed primarily on the ground, and while they can fly, they prefer to walk or run wherever possible. This group of birds includes pheasants, chickens, grouse, ptarmigan, partridge, quail, and even turkeys at the largest member of the group. The breeding ecology amongst this group of birds is quite variable. For example, ruffed grouse males drum on logs to attract females in the spring in forested settings, whereas sharp-tailed grouse and greater sage grouse dance in mating arenas called leks in the prairies. And the wild turkey forms these structures called harems with one or two dominant males monopolizing breeding in a group of females. Interestingly, this strategy is very similar to what elk do. In terms of the difference in harvest management of these species, wild turkey are sometimes considered big game. Most jurisdictions also use tag systems to regulate the harvest of wild turkeys. Upland game birds, in contrast, are usually regulated by daily bag and possession limits, similar to what we use with waterfowl. Accordingly, the hunting strategies for these birds vary quite a bit, with upland game birds often using flushing and pointing dogs for harvesting these birds during the fall. Turkeys, while primarily hunted without dogs, are targeted during the spring with decoys and calls. However, in some jurisdictions, fall hunting is allowed and dogs are used to flush flocks of turkeys in the fall. Whichever the hunting strategy you use for targeting these birds, collectively they're considered some of the finest eating out there.
Well, as you can tell, it's another beautiful morning here in southern BC. We're out just doing some morning shot calling. We went out last evening. We didn't have any luck at all. And this is about the second road. We've got a bit of a running ridge here. And we did a shot call and we've heard a gobbler down below. But we've also realized that about 100 yards from us there's some hens and they seem responsive and coming up. That gobble was definitely either towards us or closer, but that was a louder gobble.
Let's just strap up and go in because he might be in a dip somewhere, you know, working towards us, and I just don't want to be caught.
So what's happened is we're kind of getting late afternoon, and we stopped that thing, did a shot call using a cutter, and all of a sudden we got a gobbler, and originally he was about 400 or 500 yards away, but he's cut at least half that distance now. So we're gonna move in on him, and hopefully we'll get our 10 o'clock bird.
Come back and join Kent and Dean after these messages from our sponsors. Safari Club International Canada. First for hunters. Taxidermy services for Federal's Trigger Effect is provided by Hunters Union and Ray Wiens Taxidermy.
Okay, well, we're all set up. We just heard him gobble about maybe 100 yards to our right here, so Dick's gonna start doing some calling, and hopefully we can bring this bird in.
Well, anyways, what happened was we had a beautiful tom coming in, and he got to the top part, and the decoy unfortunately is behind us and he couldn't see it, and he started getting really suspicious on us. So I decided to take a bit of an outer range poke at him, and it was a clean miss. I could tell. That's really unfortunate. That was a nice tom.
Well, you've seen how difficult it can be to pull off a great turkey episode. But enough with the failures. Let's watch the boys knock down some thunder chickens. This has been a Thunder Boys production.